Nicolas. I work for EDF Ventures, the venture capital arm of EDF. And I'm going to tell you a bit more and say a few words about what we do at EDF Ventures in a couple of sec. Before that, I wanted to share with you some insights about EDF because it's, I think, a bit less known than in some other countries. And I'm very glad and very proud to share some insight about that. But as you said, Juliette, just before, we need to do more on certain aspects of the business, and I will explain a bit more about that. Yeah, maybe the first thing I wanted to share with you is it's not a concrete thing. It's not a building or a nuclear plant we are building. Is just this sentence. EDF has been one of the first utility to commit to net zero. That's one thing, and a lot of now utilities are doing that today. But more importantly, I think EDF has been the first to integrate this commitment into its bylaws. And I think it's quite important to be committed by your bylaws to build a net zero future. I wanted to share with you some facts, some insights about EDF because it's not that known, I think, and I wanted to share it with you tonight. In 2022, EDF has produced roughly 430 terawatt-hour of electricity. 90% of this electricity was carbon-free, which makes EDF the biggest producer of clean electricity in the world. And just to give you a bit of a comparison, just to understand what it means, how much this number represents. For the same year, in 2022, the UK, the whole UK, the CNI, the industry, and the people like you and me have consumed, I'm just trying to figure out the number, 275 terawatt-hour, just to give you the scale of this number. Obviously, as you may be aware, 75% of this clean energy has been produced from our nuclear plants. We operate 56, if I'm not wrong, nuclear plants in France, a couple of them also in the UK. We are building a new one here in South-West England. We are building a new one also in France. But it's not all about nuclear. We are also very active in the renewable space. Actually, we have roughly 36 gigawatt of installed capacity in the world, with the aim to deploy 60 gigawatt by the end of this decade. It's mainly hydroelectric because the history of EDF has been hydroelectric before the surge of wind and solar. But now we are also very active on this space too, especially in the UK, with the offshore wind, obviously, which is surging right now. So this is what we do today. This is where we want to go tomorrow to be net zero by 2050. We are producing today an electricity, was not the right one. An electricity with around 50 grams of CO2 per kilowatt hour. This is because we are still using coal and gas, I have to admit. But the aim is by 2050 to be net zero. I just wanted to focus a bit more also on the UK because 2024 in the UK for EDF Energy is quite unique in a way. It is the first year, 2024, where the entirety of the electricity generated by EDF Energy will be carbon-free. And we come a long way, as you can see on the graph behind. And on top of that, we keep investing, and we have committed £50 billion to invest in the UK on Hinkley Point, a nuclear plant in the southwest of England, on more renewables, mainly offshore wind in the UK. I'm pausing it here right now just a bit because I'm just telling you what we're doing good at EDF. So we are good at producing clean energy at scale. But that's one side of the story, I would say. There is something I didn't tell you, is obviously the production of electricity is our scope 1 emission. It doesn't say anything about our scope 3. And that's where not only EDF, but all the other utilities have concern, because that's the trickiest part of the emission we need to tackle in order to be net zero by 2050. And the truth is, and you are all aware, and we're all aware of that, it's not an easy thing. We need to, for instance, as Adil said just before in his speech for Schoon, to retrofit millions or maybe hundreds of millions in Europe of homes to get rid of gas, get rid of boilers. And the Scope 3 for EDF, for instance, is mainly impacted by the gas we sell to our customers. And as I said, there is no easy solution. And as much as we produce clean energy, it's not enough. We need to do more. And this is why EDF has set up EDF Pulse Ventures now 6 years ago, with the aim to investing in carbon neutrality. So basically, we are a clean tech fund, a clean tech and climate fund, investing in a whole range of technology. I don't have a lot of time, so I won't explain all the different topics we are looking at. But basically, how to decarbonize the economy, how to decarbonize, for instance, one of the topics we are looking at, how to scale the deployment of heat pump in the UK, for instance. We have deployed £400 million since 2017 into 23 startups to date. And we have also invested in 20 VC funds. We have also a fund of funds strategy. Basically, we are a Series A investor, which means we invest between £2 and £5 million as a first investment. We invest in Europe and North America. And what's something I would like to spend a bit of time on that. We are not a VC, so we are backed by EDF. We don't have any LPs behind the back saying we need to sell our portfolio. So we have time to help the companies we are investing in. We have time to sell the portfolio company we have invested in. That's the first thing. The second thing, I think that's the main difference with a traditional VC. We take time to build synergies with the startups. That's the main goal for EDF Energy. We understand the leverage we can bring to the startup, getting access to 40 million customers. And we want to use this leverage to help the acceleration of the startup we have invested in. Sorry, I can't see. I don't have much time, but 23 startups, I've said that. Last one we announced last week is Potter, a Dutch-based startup that does automatic and fully remote inspection of building based on AI in order to identify, for instance, the leakiest building and target the one that needs to be retrofitted, for instance. And I'm also very proud to announce, it's not new obviously, but we have done our first 2 deals in the UK quite recently, in B0 on one side and in Carbonate. Very quickly, we have identified 10 priorities for 2024. I'm not going to read every one of them. It's quite broad, and I think it's in line with the strategy of EDF. If you are in one way or another involved in this space, being a CEO, being just someone interested in this space, being an investor, please do not hesitate to reach out. And I think it's done. Just before giving you back the mic, I would like to say that I'm very, very, very glad that EDF is partnering with LCC and its wonderful team that is gathering this wonderful community every month. So thank you for accepting us. Thank you.